Da-na-na-na-na, whip it good. Hi everybody, Claudia here from the Wee Garden Homestead, and welcome to Whip It Wednesday. So I think every Wednesday I'm going to try is the key word, I'm going to try to post what I've been working on in the sewing studio all week. So I'm going to start with this quilt here, which gets a big done stamp. This one was a disappearing 4-patch, and I believe it measures, I want to say it was 48 by 68, I'm pretty sure when I measured it. So basically the block is right here. That's one block right there. There's one here. There's one here. So basically you take a 4-patch, just a basic four blocks, and then you cut them down the seams on either side of the seams like that. And then you switch them around and put them back together. And super easy, super quick. I was inspired by these fabrics. I had them set aside. Wasn't sure what I was going to do with them. I had them set aside. Some of them are from Mom's stash. This one was from mine. I did buy the border to match because I decided it just wasn't quite big enough. And then I had just enough of the blue the blue butterflies to do the binding. And by just enough, when I finished this quilt, I had 2 inches of binding left. Whew, and not another inch to add in there. The back is just the big blue roses. So it's a solid back. And that one gets a done stamp. So I believe that's number 5 in my 12 and 24. I do have other projects I've worked on this week, and I'm going to throw them in here. And that's it. There are some pictures. I don't have any video of working on this, but there are some pictures. I put them in I'll put them in at the end, pictures of working on this, like progress, and then more pictures of the actual quilt, good pictures. So that's it for this one is done. And then I've got a quilt top that I got together that will be for Christmas. It's a fandom quilt. I did one similar last year for Christmas for one of the grandbabies, and this one is for another one. And then I also got a baby quilt done that the baby is due in, well, I've got the top done. The baby is due in January. So I've got the top put together for that one. And then the grandbaby, the 8-year-old, and I had a trip to Joann's yesterday. I got the backing and the binding for the big fandom quilt. I got the backing and the binding for the, sorry about the dog chewing the bone by my feet, if you can hear that, I don't know. I also got the binding and the backing for the baby quilt. And then we found out just a couple days ago that the 8-year-old has a new cousin coming. So she picked out a pattern from a new pattern book that I'll post about. And we went and we got fabric for her. We got fabric for a 3-yard quilt. And she picked all the fabrics. She picked the backing. She went to the cutting table. She took her fabric up there. She told them what she needed. I, of course, paid, but she did all of that by herself. She is learning so much. So I'm going to put in a couple little reels on that, and that is going to be my Whip It Wednesday. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Whip it good. Alrighty, quick peek at this baby quilt top put together. I don't want to leave it hanging too long because I don't want it to stretch. But that is it on that. I just need to trim it a little bit, but I need to do some backing and quilt it and then get some binding on, and we will call this one ready to go. And also on this list for WIP It Wednesday, this fandom quilt. I'm not going to open this whole quilt up and hang it. It is very large and I did not want it to stretch. But we've got all kinds of stuff on here that, you know, a teenage boy would love. We've got Star Wars, we've got Sonic, we've got more Star Wars, we've got Minecraft, we've got Mario, we've got Avengers, we've got Lord of the Rings, you name it. As far as that, Harry Potter, you name it, as far as that stuff goes, it is on here. So I did, this is folded over, this isn't a line. I did, some of these are actual Star Wars fabrics I've had for years. So I did pick up backing for that yesterday. So this is going to go on the back. It's Galaxy. It's got some green and some blue and some black, and I think it matches that very well. This is a 108 wide back. And then I also got some green to go with that. I felt that the green would go very well with some of the prints, and it would go well with the backing. So this is on my list to get done. I think I'll do the baby quilt, finish up the baby quilt first, because that's smaller and it'll take me less time. So that's it for, oh, that's not it. I have one more to show you. Okay, last but not least, what I, and I'll say we, because Jocelyn worked on this with me too. So what, last thing for this week. So I'm a big fan of Terribly Rad. I love her videos. I watch them all the time. And the 8-year-old has decided she loves them too. She really relates more to Emily than she does to some of the other more mature and serious quilters. She loves them. And Emily does a bunch of 3-yard quilts. She has a whole series on 3-yard quilts. So I was inspired by that because she makes them look so super easy. So I bought the quilts in a jiffy. If they're supposed to go fast, that's what we need, because this baby quilt needs to be finished in 4 weeks. It needs to be finished and ready to go to a baby shower in 4 weeks. And I'm working with an 8-year-old part-time. So we got this. She is doing Landslide. That's this one right here. And we went to Joann's yesterday and she picked out these adorable little pandas on orange. And then she picked out this swirly orange and white. And we bumped into a very nice lady at the store, and she said, she showed us pictures where she had done this quilt too. She had the book with her, and she said to use some white in it and it would really make it pop. So she picked out a white on white swirl. And then she had, like, I don't know, 6 or 8 different fabrics that she was mulling over in her brain. And she had this one, and this one with the pink and the orange flowers, it's white. And she was going to put it back in yellow flowers. This one's really cute too. She was going to put it back, and I said, well, Joss, we can use that for the backing. So we got started on it yesterday. She has all of the half square triangles sewn together, and we have cut all of the big blocks. So the next time she comes over, we're ready for strip assembly. We're ready to put it together. So I'm so proud of her and the progress she has done in such a short time with these. So that's it. That is it for me for WIP It Wednesday. Thanks so much for joining. Next week we'll do another update. I'll probably do a whole video on each of these quilts also, but thanks so much for joining. WIP it good.